sort of thing to like shoot with, and then just sort of realise that everything's just there. It's so much easier to just do it like that. Blue or orange?
Orange.
Did you look at your fit and you thought which colour's going to complement my fit?
Well, no, it's because I've got my waistcoat as well, but that's purple. But then I was like, nah, I'm not going to.
Purple and orange is pretty Halloweeny.
Yeah, no, but that's like my Aladdin outfit.
Right, let me get a check on that. Give me a little check.
Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia.
You're good.
Czechia. Pete Petr Czech.
Put one of them on there.
Oh,
for
yeah,
you.
nice. Nice, that's very kind.
Don't want you getting hemorrhoids on me.
Oh, mate, fucking hell. Been there, you know what I mean?
It's a dangerous game, bro.
Mate,
In fact,
casserole.
how is that pillow? Is that okay? Have a little. Give me a test.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Is that fine? It's orange as well, so it matches.
It matches. Yeah, so anyone's looking at my crotch, it'd be great.
Laughing.
Amazing.
We recording? Yeah, we are.
What's in frame?
Just kind of like here upwards.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So you're
Easy.
all good. Your socks aren't in frame, so you don't have to worry. And now they are.
I've got good socks on, mate.
I rate the socks, man. They're good. They're better than my sock drawer is an absolute travesty. I will not lie to you. It's most of them have got holes in. It's one of those things where like I only, typical like dude thing, isn't it?
Oh, when
like,
are we where are we chatting to? Are we chatting? Well, are we chatting to you? Am I chatting to you?
We just have a conversation. You don't have to look into the camera unless you really want to deliver like a.
No. Yeah, that's cool. Good to know. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my sock drawer is just shitty socks with holes in, and to see you wearing your nice socks and multiple pairs at the same time makes you feel like I've not got my life together.
I don't know, man. People look at my socks and the fact that they're odd. Yeah. I get no. It's getting about. Yeah,
okay, brother.
There was one time I actually matched my socks, and my friend came up to me and was like, "Look, man, are you all right?"
Like, so you're always going odd.
Yeah.
Okay,
He was like, "Look, man, are you okay? Like, this is not okay. You're wearing the same socks." And I was like, "I'll be honest, man. I'm really going through it.
That's
right
a sign. That's
to exercise some control." But no, yeah, I love a good bit of sock game. I think it's important.
That's good crack.
Yeah.
We're here with Rishi, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking, how do you want me to refer to you? Rishi is like is the name you like to go by.
That's my name,
yeah. I didn't know if you had like a, because I've not seen you ever have like an alias anywhere, or if you want to be referred to as like Mr. No One.
Oh God,
you know what I mean?
That's what my mum calls me.
Mr. No One.
No,
that's for different reasons.
Yeah, no, Rishi's what we. Yeah, that's
great.
Cool.
Here with Rishi, the founder and mastermind behind many a project that we'll get into, I'm sure. You're not. You don't live in Bristol anymore, do you? But you did for a while. Is that correct?
Yeah. I was here for 5 years because I was here as a student at UOB, economics and politics. Chatting shit with a bit of maths. Honestly, horrendous.
Get rid of the maths, and that's what we're going to be doing for the next hour. So.
Well, that's it. So I feel like I'm pretty prepped.
There we go.
I was here for 5 years, and then. Yeah, made the move back to London. I'm from London, so
okay.
Yeah, did make the move back a few years ago, but it's still quite funny. Like even to this day, like it's 3 years or 3.5 years now since I moved back to London. A fair amount of people still think I live in Bristol, which I kind of like.
That's a nice double. You're the Hannah Montana of the Bristol to London pipeline.
Yeah, honestly, I spend a lot of time here still, and it's it's always gorgeous. I love Bristol.
Did you grow up in London then, or?
Yeah, northwest London, which some people would say isn't London, but it's
London,
within the M25. Okay, it is London. No, I have to be quite stern on that.
People are mad about their London geography, man.
Isn't it? Honestly, like just HA postcode. Who cares? It's still within the M25.
All this is like. Is a different language to me. My London geography is terrible. But you know, whenever you speak to someone from London, and it's like, oh yeah, whereabouts do you live? And they're like, oh, I'm from like West, like whatever, something ham or like whatever. Just like, brother, I've not got a fucking clue.
Yeah, that's so fair.
So what was it like growing up in London then? Or sorry, within the M25 border.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's a bit. So the northwest sort of crevice of London is quite brown. It's quite the brown area, you know. So it's there are some parts of that area where if you walk there at certain times of the day, it is like you would almost forget you're in London. Like it can get very brown, which is great. I love it. It's beautiful for that. I definitely appreciate that a lot more these days. But yeah, where I'm from is very much like a bubble, and I feel like you find this with a lot of places in London. Like they become very insular and bubbled within their own sort of communities within communities, and sometimes that can mean actually like relatively like smaller town mindset, even though you're in the big city, which was confusing which was confusing. I think I was just really, there was levels of frustration being so in such close proximity to so much art, culture, and just excitement, but then being sort of away from it as well. It's like you can sort of see it, like it's there, and you'll get little tastes of it every now and then when you go into town and go to something like that, go to anything really. But where I specifically was living was just quite, tired or, older, quite like, I don't know, just not as exciting.
Were you traveling outside of that kind of bubble frequently and going to see that kind of culture and the stuff that was sitting outside there? Or
I mean, I did what I could, but like trekking from one side of London to the other when I before the age of, really before I left home is always quite long. Like it is just a bit of a trek. It's like an hour to get from where I lived to like the parts of London.
It's an hour to get anywhere. That's what they say, right? To get anywhere in London. Yeah.
So, I definitely caught as much as I could, but also, didn't know a lot. Like I didn't have like creative or culturally interesting people around me at that time. So I had to just go and find stuff as much as I could, but obviously was very limited in my own knowledge. So really it's only when I came to Bristol that I got a much greater understanding of all of those things more holistically. And so when I went back to London, either just for a bit or when I moved back to London, I was obviously a lot more in tune with all of it. So it's weird. Like I was in the city, but also not.
I was going to say, because my next question was going to be, what was your sort of first entry point into being engaged, like culturally and like artistically with kind of, I guess, music or just general like artistic expression? Like, was that something you were into from like an early age or?
Yeah, I mean, YouTube.
Yes, it's a great starting point.
I don't know. It was YouTube. I was always downloading music. Shout out LimeWire.
Come on,
those who know.
We don't pirate.
We don't pirate. You wouldn't pirate.
No, you wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't steal several 128 kilobit per second MP3s.
Maybe I would if I could. Actually, now that you mention it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I don't really know how it. I guess hip hop. It's just hip hop into this, into that. The whole transitional thing. But I bought my first pair of decks, or we had our first pair of decks in the house. Newmark Mixtrack Pro.
The Mixtrack Pro 3s were they?
The sort of super basics.
That's what I started on. I think
Virtual DJ Pro was the software.
Baby, come
those
on.
are the days.
Take me back.
Honestly, it was so much more simpler.
So that was sorry. That was in the house.
Yeah, I was 12.
Yeah. Okay,
I was 12.
Was that you got that yourself, or was that a relative?
So that was with me and my brother. My younger brother.
No way.
I think he copped them. I used them more, and he started doing production stuff. So then we kind of like went our ways. But yeah, there would just be a process where I would just like. Well, when I got into club music around that sort of age 12, 13. I don't know. I guess I found the intros and build-ups a bit too long and annoying. So I just wanted to drop. Okay, I just want the drop. Like, that's it. So then that's how I started mixing. I just basically mix drop into the next track, drop into the next track, drop, the next track, drop. Record those mixes and then just listen to them on my MP3 player.
Okay.
So it's just more efficient. Like that was it. That was all DJing.
Cut
was
out the
that
need
point.
for the bullshit.
Yeah. All the soul, all the build up, all the anticipation. Who needs it? Give me the good stuff.
A lot of bass music DJing now is very much revolves around that, though. Would you not say, or were you doing it differently?
I was just doing it out of like
you were just
laziness.
going like straight. So here's the drop, and then the next drop. Like the other track is playing up until the moment it drops, then you cut it away, or
I mean, it's just I'll be honest, they're not good mixes.
I mean, I wasn't insinuating that. Yeah,
not good. It was functional. That was it. It was just functional.
Okay,
it was just like, I want to listen to this stuff. I guess because I had a really small MP3 player, so you could only have so many files on there.
Sure.
So it's like I could have a mix which has like loads more tunes. And I could just listen to that, and then as opposed to like keep on refreshing it. I don't know. It was just efficient and functional and effective. That was how it all started.
What kind of music was it at that time?
Oh yeah, EDM. Yeah,
nice. Come on. Yeah.
128 BPM, big room EDM. Martin.
Nothing's changed then. Nothing's changed.
No, mate. Sometimes I've thought about dropping a couple of those tunes, but they're just too they're too overproduced. They sound too good.
I went to the Final No One party. I think you must already know what I'm going to say.
Of course, yeah.
The name of the tune escapes me, but it was
Promises.
There it is. Yeah, Nero. Of course it is.
Yeah, no, sorry.
No, I was just gonna let you do that so I could clip it for the final thing.
Just, do you know what? Fair enough. Yeah. You led me straight into that. Yeah, Nero Promises. I mean, Nero. One of the Neros a duo. One of them actually is from my neck of the woods in Watford.
Oh, for real?
Fun fact. Yeah.
They got you onto DJing then, right? They got you into it.
I get. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, yeah. You could say that. I mean, yeah, all of that big room stuff, and then Nero is what came. Nero early chasing status. Again, we're not talking like super tasteful or super. Well, they are tasteful in their own way,
yourself,
but we're not. I'm not. I would have never claimed to be like, oh yeah, I was like bare into records and like was always digging for like the deepest cuts. It's like, nah, man, I was into YouTube and what was popular at the time and found that was my path. Just kept on going down that rabbit hole and still am. So,
but that's great. Yeah. I think that was kind of the journey of so many people at that time, and almost that. Because it's so new, it feels like you stumbled upon this like super like almost like underground like gem, like that's fantastic.
I say it was at that time I was like, this is sick. There wasn't anyone telling me, oh yeah, like listen to this. Like, I didn't have any people sort of recommending me stuff or like there was no influence there from any person. So it was just figuring out what sounds good to my city little ears, and like Skrillex, all of that stuff. Yeah.
And you would say were you a casual enjoyer, or were you like a sort of participant within it? Would you say?
At that point, I was just my ears were just into whatever they were into. Like, definitely wasn't like contributing in any way. Just was, literally wasn't. Was like downloading these tracks on LimeWire. Like, very much. Nah, yeah, that was.
I'm sure my
garage not okay.
Missed that coin dearly. I'm sure.
I feel like all of the people I was listening to, they'd done all right.
I think
it's okay. I think they're fine. Sorry.
They're not dropping free downloads in a hurry, to be fair, are they?
No. They're all good. But I don't know, humble beginnings, but no headsy stuff, just like, listening to what I was just attracted to at that time.
Do you still ever dip your toes back into those waters?
Well, I do, because I played that track on the final birthday, innit?
My question, yeah.
I was like, of course I'm going to like, I think that's a part of it, just being a bit unserious, being a bit silly, and like that is also as important as digging for the next sick tune and like playing the headsiest sets. Like, you can have a tasteful balance between them and, or not. And that's also fine. Like, however you want to do it is fine. So, the worst part about that, pardon me, is like that. So I remember that, how that went down. I was like, mixed in Nero Promises, but then let that play out and then put in, I think it was a Mala tune. So it was like, almost like sacrilege. Yes. So it's like almost actual sacrilege to go from Nero Promises into Mala Lean Forward. That was it. So it's like pure sacrilege. That was so funny.
Do you do that because I just trying to sort of get to the... As you were saying that, I saw the look in your eyes. I can't believe I'm actually even... do you feel like... I guess to put it bluntly, like why do something like that?
Why? It's such a good question. Why?
Because you can say, oh, it's just for a laugh, or you can say, oh, it's because I just rated both the tunes.
No, it's important. Like, it's important to recognize where you came from, and like, even if it isn't like the coolest thing, like, who wants to be cool? Like,
I think that's part of it, right? That's kind of intrinsic to kind of what. Like the no one thing, or kind of everything that you've done kind of is about that sort of taking that mask off, right?
Yeah, it's like, who cares? Yeah. Like, it wasn't like a haha, this will be funny. There was a little bit of that, but it is also because fundamentally that is fundamental to me, and obviously no one is a fundamental thing to me, and therefore these things are all part of the journey. Bars.
Nice, come on.
Thanks. But like, it all counts, and I think it's like being proud of the bits that aren't always the most glamorous is also as important as celebrating the cool stuff. I don't know, like, who cares?
I think that does, it speaks to people as well when you play music like that, and it lets them know that they're in a place where they can actually let their hair down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also like there were a lot of people in that Trinity Centre in that night that were like, they were gassed to hear Nero Promises on a rig. Yes. I've never heard Nero Promises on a rig, and that was actually partly why I want to have an experience to hear this tune. Obviously, everyone, whether they believe it or not, whether they sort of admit it or not. Sorry, a lot of us in the scene have a lot of connection to a lot of those tunes. So like, run it.
I rate it, man. I rate it. So you were DJing sort of at home, like for fun, casually, and how old are you at that point? Would you say?
Just a wee little kid, just like from the age of 12 and upwards. So
Okay,
then,
great.
then like as it progressed, well, like as it progressed, as life progressed,
Started getting your EDM bookings coming in the northwest London riding area.
Yeah, not so much, but I did start obviously like because wide palette of music, so it wasn't just like the EDM stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there's all the hip hop and also like a lot of like the tasteful pop stuff and just playing around with anything I like. Just like, right, let's just stick that in a mix and see how it works. So I've always been very open format in that way. So yeah, DJing for like cousins' birthdays and like family friends' birthdays.
Very nice.
I mean, some of the best ones are like 50th birthday parties. Like, mate. Like honestly, some of the best times because you got all night long, like 4 or 5 hours.
Extended set.
And it's like, maybe you've been given a playlist or maybe you've been told some things, but also sometimes you're not. And you're just winging it as it goes and like mixing this into that and just trying to like join the dots. And
you can really reach for the deeper cuts.
I mean, you just, when it hits a certain time of night, like the last hour and a half, just slam it in and just see what happens. I don't know. Some of those are great.
They say you either make it or you find yourself doing weddings and birthday parties for the rest of eternity.
Oof. I mean, that's not too bad.
Similar with like, it's just like DJs and photographers is a similar thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, you're either going to become like, your stuff's going to be in a gallery or you're going to do weddings for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's not too bad. They're quite fun.
Hey, I'll take it.
Quite fun.
Yeah. If I get booked for weddings, I mean, I'm not getting booked for clubs. If I get booked for weddings, that's a win in my book. Brother.
No, but it's especially with like the Indian weddings and stuff. Some of those DJs, they rock up with the maddest kit you've ever seen because they'll have like the whole like frontage, like the whole stage frontage.
They bring the
stuff.
booth with them.
Sometimes they bring the booth. They got their own like little PA.
I love that.
And it's they have like white CDJs or some shit like that. Like it's so extra. Yeah. It's so good.
It's unapologetic. I love that.
It's so good. So you know what? Like maybe in a different universe, maybe.
Or in the future, if current work dries up, brother.
You never know.
You never know.
Drop Nero promises at the 50th birthday party.
That's it.
Sick.
Why did you move to Bristol? He's chugging his vape right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's deep in thought, don't worry.
I was being contemplative. Why did I come to Bristol? Well, it's for uni, but it's quite important to say like I wanted to be in Bristol quite specifically. I had a pretty clear intention from the age of like 16. I actually tried to, I remember this now. Yeah, I was 16 I tried to run a club night.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But
how did you
it didn't happen. So I was 16.
Talk me through the process. What your thought process was?
Well, there was a few mates of mine that were like rappers, or like hip hop artists, or like just trying that stuff out. As any sort of, we were just trying things out and seeing what happens. So I was like, I thought clearly I had this sort of within me, like this sort of intention within me, because I was like, I'll try and put a party on. And it's like I found a venue, had it all kind of ready. But then they all kind of chickened out.
You're joking.
Yeah, no. I'd sold tickets as well. I was like, we're ready to go. And they just weren't up for like putting up 60 quid each for like a deposit or whatever.
Oh, man. What was the venue?
I can't remember. It was somewhere in like East.
Oh, my goodness me.
Yeah.
So you promoted it? You were...
Well, yeah, I'd promoted it. I had these like physical tickets. They were like rectangle. And I think it was called... I think it was called like Paradise or something. That was because that was the name of one of their EPs or something.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there was a clear intention. I had to like go individually refund people like their like fivers.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
my
like
God.
it was a whole thing. It was like a team effort anyway. But it was like me that was all doing the organising side of things. Yeah. So that was the first attempt. But
that's amazing.
Yeah,
so you were really that when you were doing that, were you thinking about it as like this is something that I'd want to pursue, or were you just thinking like it'd be great to get me and my mates to perform?
Yeah, just a bit of fun. Bit of fun. But then obviously when I got a bit older, I was like, oh yeah, this could be quite a cool way of doing things. Like again, I was already DJing, so I knew I wanted to get out and DJ a bit more, specifically in Bristol, because I was keeping tracks of like the different scenes from the age of like late 16, so 17ish. keeping tracks of like what club nights were going on, who were the main promoters, what was going on where, what venues, etc. in specifically Nottingham, London, Bristol, Leeds.
When you say keeping track,
it was all Facebook events back then.
Oh, okay. So you just were like keeping an eye on things.
Yeah,
and, like,
on all the different pages. So I followed all the venues, then followed all the main promoters. Then we'll obviously keep track of my favorite artists, and then just keep track of stuff. Just see what was going on. So I was very like aware of all of those scenes as much as one could be when I couldn't go.
Sure. Yeah.
And also couldn't get into clubs or whatever. But so I was already keeping track of it, and I just found that Bristol had quite like a open scene that had much broader range of stuff, also by like a broad range of promoters. I didn't know they were called promoters, or just like event planners or whatever. Just a broader range of just stuff. And then I started chatting to some people from Bristol, from like Facebook groups and stuff. Like, God, this is going back like. God, like Lengoland. Do you remember
yeah. God, my goodness me, man.
I remember rolling back. Facebook. Shout out Facebook. Well, not these days, but
Shout out Mark Zuckerberg one time.
Some people fall off so hard in it, but yeah.
Facebook events used to be everything.
It was
literally everything. Even when I first came to Bristol in 2018, for like the first couple of years while I was in Bristol, it was just sharing Facebook events about.
God, mate, those were the days. They were so good.
Yeah,
they were so good. We had it. So promoters had it so good. Between like 2008 and like 2018, like promoters had it so good.
What was so good about like when you say promoters had it so good? How do you mean?
Well, just in terms of like how. I guess let's get into the more mechanics of promoting, but like how it just was kind of easier. Like the clubs were just busy, and then if you had like a cool artwork and a nicer thing, then. Yeah, people would come. Like the clubs just worked. People were out. People were active. It was cheaper, etc. And then you had Facebook events that came along, and you could just like click interested, and then get everyone to press going, and then just sell tickets directly to people. I mean, I was getting to like more marketing-y stuff.
No, brother, we'll get there.
Oh yeah, woo! Let's go. No, but yeah, I noticed that Bristol had a broader scene. So I remember chatting to people from Facebook groups like Lengoland. What was his name? A guy called Elijah, who used to live here. I don't know what he's saying now. But
shout out Elijah.
Yeah, shout out Elijah, man. So I remember chatting to him, and it just seemed a lot more welcoming and open. So I was like, cool, Bristol was the one. And so I applied. Didn't get in the first time.
Oh.
I know.
Well, because you weren't smart enough.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I was too busy.
You should have gone to uni like me. They accepted anyone to there.
I think. I mean, I did. I just had to be Bristol. It could have been UE. I don't know. I took a year out, and then things sort of. I think that time was really important. Like initially, it really killed me. The idea of like, so I was so ready. I was so ready to just get stuck in.
You get so hyped up for it.
Yeah, I was. You're on that sort of like, what was it, assembly line? Yeah, you get the idea.
Sure, yeah.
You're on that assembly line, and it's suddenly like you've been discarded for being defunct, and you're like, oh, I was so ready. But everything happens for a reason, innit?
I was gonna say, yeah. Do you think that year, had an impact on how you treated it when it finally happened?
Oh yeah, because that year, that the space that I had in my mind is what kind of allowed me to just like read more and just chill, I guess, as well. That actually just like ingratiate myself a little bit within the London scene as a relatively freer person. I was just retaking like an A-level and a half. So yeah, I had time. I was working as well, which just helped.
Yeah,
money. And I also, that's where No One was created, like the brand. So.
In London, like in that sort of interim period.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as a concept anyway. Like I didn't know what it was going to be, but the idea of it, the logo, was all sort of created within that space.
Yeah, so what was the initial concept for No One? Which, I mean, if you don't know by now, is like probably one of your larger brands that you've created?
I think everything has its purpose and it definitely. It was big at its peak. It was pretty big. Yeah.
So, I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. that there being some music out on No One in the early days, right? Was that in the how early on was that? Because that was my first.
That was like 2020.
21, I want to say.
21, 22, 21.
Because it was when I first started the label, like when I was like sort of looking around, it was some of the first stuff that I came across. So I'd always seen you as like not a label, but like a thing that puts out music rather as well as sort of a promoter.
I mean, that's what's so funny. Like, you just try different stuff, right? I was just like throwing different stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. I mean, like the No One events brand is one thing, but yeah, there was, I don't know, it's just like having an idea and just like being like, all right, let's give it a go. Like that's what, yeah, we'll get into all of the other stuff, I'm sure, but like the thing you'll notice and the through line of all of it is just like, oh, that sounds fun, that sounds interesting, let's just give it a go. And so like when we started putting music out on SoundCloud, the concept basically was tunes that aren't released, obviously, but where maybe the artist that or producer that made it maybe doesn't really fit into their like career vibe, but like they just, you know, when people just make tunes for the fun of making tunes, but sometimes those fun tunes are sick, and like maybe they should be heard as well, like even if it doesn't fit into like the concept of your artist project. Like you can still, if it's a good tune, it's a good tune, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
So I met a guy called Ollie Lofty, who, you know, met him at like an afters, friend of a friend, etc. And he was, you know, having a mix, and he played a couple of tunes, and I was like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "Oh, it's one of mine." I was like, "Right,
I'm interested."
Okay. Yeah, that was good fun. And then just stayed in touch. He sent me a few bits, and I was like, "I'm doing this little thing, like this little project. What do you think?" It was approaching December, and I was like, "Yeah, what do you think? Should we?" Like, you up for this? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, I had a bit of a platform, obviously, like none on SoundCloud, no followers, no nothing on SoundCloud, right. But as under No One, like there was like people were, you know, I'd hope that people would go listen to it. So yeah, we just did it super plain, NO_001. So the first thing, released it on December 21st of that year, called it Solstice, obviously.
Very good.
And it was a very like sort of spooky, like gentle dubstep tune, and it kind of, well, I guess within the scene, it kind of went viral. Like it did, like I think at its peak, it did like 40,000 plays. Bear in mind, this account had no followers, no nothing. It was the first thing posted on it, and all I did was post it on Instagram. But it just went off, and then that track and Lofty as an artist then got signed to White Peach from it. So I was like,
wow, nice,
okay, sick.
Why did you? Because you had a couple on there, right? There was a couple.
Yeah, we ended up doing like we did 6. Now I gave up because I think we did like 6 or 7, and then by that time people were actually just kind of comfortable just sticking edits up, and not being too fickle about the artist project, and just kind of sticking some up for like free edits or Bandcamp or, you know, aliases or whatever. So there wasn't as much of a need for like that sort of label concept thing, so I just kind of stopped it. SoundCloud's
done a lot for that, changing the attitude around that kind of music, I think. It's sort of opening up artists to be more comfortable with just posting things that are outside their usual bubble. Yeah,
which is good. Like, and also like more generally, like I feel like a lot of artists are a lot more open format anyway. Like there's a much greater comfortability within releasing a tune that's like, you know, broken beat and then a dubstep thing and then like a 4/4 stepper and then this or whatever it may be. Just examples, but I feel like people are a lot more comfortable with just putting good stuff out, and like that's okay, even if it isn't the most like consistent with the last release. Like that's kind of fine.
Completely. Yeah. How long were you doing? Because when you started with No One was one of your first projects, right? Is that correct or?
Yeah, DYDX technically. Do you know about DYDX?
No, I don't know about DYDX. This is what I'm saying. I you know way more than in terms of research.
I mean, you don't, so right.
Well, of course you do, but you know, I guess I need to do more research for these episodes, but I learned from things like this, right? Yeah. So what's DYDX?
Well, all right. So I was DJing under the name No One.
Yeah.
That's how that started.
Okay.
So I was DJing under the name No One. That's how that started. And then I had an event concept. Again, it's all right, silly concepts. That's all the FR is. But anyway, an event concept, so neaky. It's so neaky.
You come to the right place, my friend.
It was called DYDX, which in essence, the idea behind it was like, take a big genre like house, for example, and explore the derivatives of it.
Sure.
So whether it's like, I don't know, disco house, bass house, Chicago house, Detroit house, whatever. You get the idea. I get confused, but that was the idea. So take a big genre, and then throughout the night, it will explore all different kinds of varieties of that thing, of that genre. So yeah, we did DYDX House, which was my first ever show, first ever party.
This is in Bristol, or
Yeah, Bristol at what was then called Dog House, that then became a club called Asylum, that then closed down for a bit, and then became Death Disco, and now is called, or is going to be called something else.
Is it Death Disco is still about, right?
Yeah, but they're changing their name.
Oh, okay.
So it's that same place, but
Okay.
So it was the only venue that would take me. Fair.
I suppose when it's your first event, you don't have much leverage.
No, it's a fair play to them for taking the chance. And yeah, we sold it out. 200 people. Sick.
How did you do that?
Had friends. That's
where I'm missing, I think. That's my problem.
Yeah, that's the key. You just get friends.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I was in first year uni, innit?
Right. Okay.
First year uni in Bristol UOB in Stoke Bishop, which is like quite an active area, like residential village.
Yeah.
And I had a good, really beautiful group of friends that then had respectively like their own friendship groups. And I was like, I'm doing a party, and people are like, cool, I'm coming. It's like, yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
So on like a Tuesday.
Huge.
So bizarre.
Okay, so you were doing DYDX for how long before you put on your first No One event?
So we did 4 DYDX events in total. So it was DYDX House in January of 2019. DYDX Garage we did early March. Sold out again, that whole thing. And then we went straight to Blue Mountain.
Huge.
And did a collaboration with another brand at the time called Retrospect. It was like another student-run brand, first year, another person. And we were like, let's just give it a go, because I think they were running parties as well, like more drum and bass stuff. So we did like DYDX, I think it was like DYDX X Retrospect, D&B. Like, the most like, like generic.
Blue Mountain, come on, baby.
But we sold it out. We did like 750 people. We're like, what?
You can fit 750 people in Blue Mountain. It's gone now, so you can say what you want.
True. I think you could. Well, let's not get into it. I mean, I think we did. Well,
you did.
Well, I mean, they're all small, innit? We're all freshers, innit? Yeah.
You only count for half
like
the
square footage is different for like freshers. Man. So like, we did like 700, 800, and then we did that again after the spring break. So that was May 3rd, and then that was like my crash course first year opening for like first year of uni, like into events, and I was like, okay.
If you've done that well with your first few, you may as well carry on. I mean, that's like quite a great place to start with it.
Well, yeah. But then you forget, like, actually. Well, then I just went crazy. I was like, okay, let's do events every week.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, I was made to do this.
Let's go. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what happened. And then obviously you realise that turns out people won't show up to every single party you do.
Weird that, isn't it?
When you do one a week and on a Wednesday, and that's when I started booking headliners, because we hadn't really booked headliners up to that point. We had Sir Hiss and Ems. He was like my first ever booking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Jeff.
Incredible. Yeah.
Big up Jeff.
Love Jeff.
Yeah. So that was cool. There was a couple other people that were knocking around there as well. But yeah, then when it got to my second year of uni, there was a bit of money saved. And I was like, right, let's go. Let's do some bookings. Because that's what I wanted to do. That's how I perceived. That was. I've been looking at all of these scenes for so long, like booking artists implied a greater level of like almost like respect or gravitas to the show. But I made some errors.
What sort of errors?
Monetarily.
Yeah. This is the thing though with promoting, is the only thing. I mean, I run events occasionally, nothing like on the scale that you're familiar with, but like for me it's professional gambling for the most part.
Yeah, we are professional gamblers.
And two, like the financial element of it for me is the one reason that I just never want to go back and do another one. I just couldn't. I always find it difficult to take that step again and put myself exactly that. To put myself back into that position and be like, right, let's do it again.
It is brutal. I mean, I was, yeah. Well, I was like, right, let's just throw it all at the wall and see what sticks. But that's the only way you learn as well. Yeah. Like you really learn the metal, METTEL, the metal of any person or promoter or whatever by how they react when they lose. Because that will teach us something.
Yes.
Because if it doesn't, then you're over anyway. I mean, if you don't learn from it, then you're kind of cooked, regardless, as the kids might say. But yeah, like I lost money, serious money, learned a lot from it, but also then made some money. So it was like the big ups and downs. I was like, right, what is going on? And I learned a lot. But then that's the thing, like a lot of the lessons that I learned in that context at that time are kind of redundant. So like if you were going to say, like, if you were going to ask, like, oh, what lessons did you learn? It's like, sure, I can get some broad stroke answers to you. But the thing is, and this applies to like all different promoters as over the years, especially those people that like used to be promoters and then became agents or whatever. It's like, yeah, they might have experiences and learn from them, but stuff changes so quick that like the lessons that I learned in 2020, no, that was before COVID, to 2019, it was wildly different to like the lessons that promoters nowadays are having to learn. Yeah. They're completely different. It's a whole different thing. Facebook was still active. Like it's a whole different ball game. So it's all very interesting.
How did you find navigating that next step and dealing with those like larger players, like going and actually booking artists and like, I suppose working more within the industry, if you can call it that?
Hit and hope, innit? Send an email, see what happens. I guess, I had a good idea of artists I wanted to book. Definitely got mugged off by certain people. There's a lot of exploitation. When people see like a young, active, like, hungry promoter, they just see dollar signs in their eyes because they know that I don't know what other promoters that are more established know. Yeah. Like ticket worthiness or the actually how much these artists should be, like the kind of appropriate fees that should make it work kind of thing. And they know that, and they actively take advantage of that. Some of these agents, like they do. So I definitely got taken for a ride many a time and lost a lot of money. And the thing is, like if I didn't have certain other things going on to earn money, then that would have been like my career done instantly. So it's like that sort of culture of exploitation is so damaging, and it's cooked so many people over the years. I've spoken to so many people about this. And it's like you do have people that are excited about it, hungry and willing and all this stuff, and then you sort of exploit them so much so quick, and then they get burned and then they lose their money, and then it's like, well, I guess I'm not doing that again. It's like, what was that? Like, was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? For that extra little bit of money, was it worth it?
I feel like I've been there myself.
Sorry, I feel quite passionate about this.
No, mate, I completely feel it because like you completely lose the love for it when you do something, when you put your heart and soul into something, and then it maybe doesn't go as well as you'd like it to, or maybe you haven't budgeted it properly, or whatever, and then it somehow always feels like a personal comment on like you and your abilities.
Especially if you give a shit. Then like, of course it's personal. It is absolutely personal. And so making that jump from like running parties with your mates, for your mates, with your mates DJing, and like just doing it like that is great, is perfect, and we love it. And like that's the way. And I think that to skip a few years, I feel that culture is actually returning in a much greater way, where actually people are like, maybe it's not worth paying like 800 quid for a headliner, where like, that they're sick, but also like that's expensive. And like, I can keep tickets cheaper, and it can be more of a party for my mates and with my mates, and or doing something and platforming like my community, as opposed to just going for a headliner. That the sort of artist-centric model I think is kind of waning.
Interesting.
But anyway, that's a whole separate thing.
Is that kind of your ethos then with like Brown Excellence, I suppose?
Precisely.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's all connected.
You're taking me on a journey, mate. That's fine. You're leading me down.
It literally all follows. Like again, the whole thing is just like, this isn't working. Yeah. That is, or let's try that. And that's basically how it's always works. But anyway, what I just wanted to finish on the point of like making that jump for like a party for your mates, with your mates, to industry side stuff is tricky. And I say there is a lot of exploitation that goes on there. But if you can like traverse those waters and work with the right artists, even work with them directly sometimes. It's like, talking on like a more up and coming level, of course, or work with the right agents that actually see the and respect, crucially, the quality of what you're trying to present, like the opportunity that you're trying to present to their artist. Then it can work really beautifully. And to be fair, it's worth shouting out Carl from Suamotu, who I now work with exceptionally closely, because he's someone that's because he's a promoter himself to this day in Berlin, but still. And he gets it. Like, he sees the value and respects the importance within the UK sort of context of these young, dumb, stupid, silly, like, student promoters.
Yeah.
Because essentially that is where, like, they're going to pull some people because, like, they've got their mates, and, like, having an artist on his roster, on a Carl's roster, like, play for a party like that can actually yield quite, like, a strong following, because they're very open-minded crowd because they're just there for the party. So there are people that get it right. It's important, and if you can find those kind of agents and those kind of people to work with, then it's good. But yeah, there are people that are going to try and mug you off.
How do you have any advice for dealing with the people that don't sit on that side of the fence and are rather more on the, perhaps not taking advantage, but I guess, like, maybe the slightly more exploitative, people almost trying to, like, use their power, I guess, in a way that's not beneficial towards yourself? Yeah,
I mean, this is something I'm quite big on now, especially. I mean, always have been, but very much so now, is information sharing. Like, there was a couple promoters that were obviously a fair bit senior to me at that time that just hopped on the phone to me when I was starting out there. They obviously noticed that I was doing parties. They noticed I'd started doing bookings, and they just reached out and were like, "Hey, notice you're doing some stuff. It's a big old scary world out there. If you want to just chat through bookings you have in mind, and if you want to, like, get a sense of what that might mean, or give you some idea of how that might work, or et cetera, then, like, give us a shout." And, like, those conversations were vitally important, because you don't have to be an island. It doesn't have to be, like, such an insular thing. You can just talk. And so something I'm very big on with certain people, of course, that I trust, is actually just sharing tips, sharing, like, information, like, nothing that would break an NDA. Importantly,
camera. No,
I fulfill my contractual obligations to keep things, of course,
as we all do,
as we all do, and as we all should. But sharing a level of information, giving people rough ballparks, just so that they don't get mugged off. Like, yeah, that is important.
And you have to be able to listen as well, right? Because if you tell someone who's in a more experienced position than you, if maybe you're pitching them an idea that you have for whether it's a booking or, like, a concept, and they maybe say, "Oh, maybe rethink this," that can be difficult to hear, right? As, like, a young promoter.
Absolutely. But it's at the level of awareness that you're at, right?
Yeah.
So it's also about trust as well, because there are also sometimes, and this has happened before, where, like, you could tell someone your ideas, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, nice," and just go do it on a bigger scale. Oh yeah. That's what I mean. It's a deep, dark world out there.
That's got to stay.
Like, yeah, man. But again, like, I don't mind, because I think this is quite crucial, and it's intra-industry, but also it's a very general point as well about, it's like, people. Is like the kind of people that exploit or take the piss or take advantage, or whatever kind of way, shape or form that may come, piss you off, whatever. Like, they're just not meant to stay. And like, yeah, go and take my idea. Go and, like, charge me too much because I'm young, dumb and silly. Like, do that. But then guess what? Like, I'm never going to work with you again. And if I do end up carrying on in this industry or whatever, that's a bridge you've burnt.
Yeah.
And, like, karma can be peak.
Oh, it'll get you, brother.
Like, and don't hold grudges as well. Like, I never hold grudges. Everyone's cool. I respect everyone, but there are just some people that I respectfully just don't align with because of, like, personal history, or how I've seen, also crucially, how I've seen them treat others. And that's important. It's the content of your character as well. So yeah, I think you learn, you get scarred, you get slapped a bit, you get scarred, and not to make those same mistakes again.
You mentioned before we started recording about kind of on a similar note around, like, the sort of masculinity kind of issues that lie within some of those spaces.
Oh yeah, rampant.
Yeah,
like Bristol. I say, like, Bristol. Yeah, everywhere's got its issues. Everywhere, everything has its issues. Like, there's no perfect situation. But the crucial thing about Bristol is that at least it's not, like, violent. Because like, there are other scenes. Again, this is more like pre-COVID.
Sure. When
that there was, this is pre-COVID. Post-COVID, like, a lot of those scenes have just kind of died off completely. But pre-COVID, there were some scenes in the underground music-y world, clubs and whatever, where, like, if you promoted a show on their turf or whatever, like, they could get dangerous. You know, there was actual danger involved. So I was obviously, steer clear of that. But
was there anything that you were made aware of, or?
Well, yeah. Again, like information sharing and stuff. Like some local scenes where, like, it would be vicious. Sometimes violent, but also just vicious. Like bigger promoters would then, like, they would see you put a night on with, like, say it's drum and bass, and they'd be like, oh, interesting, right? Not on my watch, and then go on book like a triple bill headliner just to quash the competition.
Right, on the same night sort of thing. Or?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the difference between like having a competitive mindset versus a cooperative mindset. And Bristol is a lot more cooperative.
Okay.
However, that doesn't make it squeaky clean.
Yeah.
It definitely isn't. I'd say nowhere is. But yeah, I can't remember the question. So
how do you, have you ever had experience of that, or is that just something you've heard of?
As in Bristol or externally?
I guess in general, and like how, like, do you have any tips for like dealing with those kind of people and that kind of method of doing things?
Well, yeah, I mean, sorry, the grander question was around masculinity, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I say it's like you learn the people to trust. Mm-hmm. Like that's it. And like part of it, similarly with losing money as a promoter, which again is kind of is important. Like these things are very teachable. Like you learn so much from just like navigating that world. Mm-hmm. In terms of tips, it's just like, I guess, don't overcommit to anything, to anyone as well. Don't, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Been there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stick to your own guns. Like if you're attracting attention from, seemingly powerful individuals, like, know your worth, I guess, because why else would they be interested in getting to know you if you didn't have something that they could benefit from? So like protecting yourself like within your like your data, your finances, like all of that stuff. Like don't give away too much power, because like why? There's no need. Maintaining your sovereignty, I guess, is the kind of fundamental sort of overarching thing there. But then with regards to like more masculinity of a toxic nature, there's it's rampant everywhere, whether it's especially in the underground music scene, it's very much historically been the case, and there are beautiful pebbles in amongst the rough that have like shone for a long time and continue to shine. But there is a lot of that, and I think part of it is like that's the structure of the scenes plural, which doesn't make it okay at all. But it does make it something that we kind of have to learn to navigate. And then crucially, once we've learned the skills we need to learn and like experience what we needed to experience, then we can like try and build a different future. So I think part of it is going through like the system, getting churned and spat out. And then with all of that knowledge, trying to create something different from the knowledge you've gained, if that makes sense.
Is that something that you're consciously doing then going forward with your current projects?
Yeah. Precisely.
I suppose because the one that I'm seeing the most of yours around a minute is your Brown Excellence project.
Woohoo!
Which obviously is fantastic.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing that for?
It's 3 years. Oh no! It's our 4th year. I think this year we've just entered our 4th year, which is kind of mad. Wow, time really
does.
flies.
It really does. Yeah.
How old am I? How old am I? Oh my god.
How would you describe that project to someone that's not been to one of your parties before?
It is the story of 2 individuals who aligned in Bristol through different marginalised POC backgrounds and have decided to build a different perception and future for themselves in the context of South Asian diaspora, Arab, Pakistani, Indian, Bollywood, etc. music of all of those different ilks, mixed with, crucially, the other side of us, which is the soulful side, which is UK techno, dubstep, jungle, etc., etc. So we are this dichotomy. We are all dichotomies, and like skin and soul. So yeah, that's it.
And it's been like all the parties have popped off. I don't think there's been a single one that I've seen that hasn't been like absolutely rammed and has done like very, very well.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why do you think that is? Because it's not like you have a very diverse sort of mixture of people that go to these parties as well.
It is fairly mixed. Like obviously, some people go there expecting it to be like a fully brown, for lack of, I can say that. Like, some people expect to do like a fully brown audience, but it's like, nah, like we're not Bollywood DJs. Like we're not Arab pop DJs. Like that's not us. But we're also not just like brown DJs playing club stuff. Well, we were that for a bit, but it is. Yeah,
but that would be okay if you were as well.
Well, that's also fine. Yeah, that's also fine. I think that's crucial actually to say. But it is a very sort of niche. It's a niche thing. There's a lot of that kind of percussive influenced or South Asian or Arab influenced UK bassy dance music continuum, whatever. There's a lot of that now. Yeah. And I think it's quite interesting as a concept to contextualize that within me and Zen's, or Zen and I's, like lived experiences, which is, like UK club stuff from all different varieties over the many years, and the stuff of our skin. And like, I don't know, there's a whole journey of like identity that both of us went on. And in a way, like Zen really helped me. Zen was very much like instrumental to my positive perception of my identity. But that's a whole other thing. That's a whole podcast itself. But
we'll have to have you back. So.
Oh, stop it. But no, like that it's a part. I think people really understand the motif. It's like, actually, where lots of negative preconceptions of brown people are rife and are very common, just by virtue of how we are perceived before we've even opened our mouths or said anything. It's like, let's challenge that. Let's make it interesting. Let's make it sexy. Let's make it fun. Let's make it headsy. Let's make it whatever the hell we want it to be on that particular day. So and also very crucially, it's a party. It's not a promoter. We do book some artists sometimes, but the crucial thing is never like headliner. Like we're not booking like headliners to join us. We're maybe inviting DJs or inviting singers or tabla players or whatever to join us as part of a thing. But there is no headliner. It's just a Brown Excellence party. It's Zen and myself and maybe some others, but it's never like a headliner centric thing.
I love that. That's kind of just goes back to what you were saying about the sort of headliner centric model maybe not quite being as centric as it once was.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I mean, talking as like a small promoter, that is like the dream scenario, is to be able to have you have something that people respect and admire enough that you can just be like, this is my party's happening, and people will naturally come to it, right?
Yeah, like there's two different approaches. You can either book such a strong lineup for so many years, such a strong consistency of lineups for so many years, to the point where you build up such a reputation that people trust your curation before you've even put it out and made it public. So that's one route. Long.
Yeah. Worth it, but long. Yeah.
I mean, and that's also the thing, like even with no one, like I did think to myself, it was towards the end of it, I was like, how many people would actually show up to a no one party if I didn't release a lineup? Like how much worth does my brand
actually have? Did you do any
have?
secret ones?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really, no. And I, to be honest, when I really deep, I was like, I really don't know. Because we've gone through so many different genres over the years. Like we're not really super defined in what we were representing. For
sure, yeah.
Like it was drum and bass at the beginning, then went into garage, and just whatever I was into basically at any given time. So it wasn't really consistent or really truly embedded in any specific scene where people could trust it. It was a very broad stroke thing because that's how I wanted it to be. So when I kind of sat down and realized that, probably not a lot. Maybe some, but not a lot. I was like, what value am I actually contributing here other than basically just being like a facilitator? Thank you. A facilitator for artists, venues and customers to kind of like have that exchange of...
Interesting.
vibe.
So you kind of saw yourself as... It wasn't like a... I guess it was like a realization of your purpose within that system as being like...
I just make these cogs go that way. That's it.
And you wanted to be more integral.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like I wanted to be this or that. It was more just like, this is cool, this is fun, I like this, but also I just want to DJ.
Yeah.
I want to DJ. My turn.
Yes.
But that's because that's how it all started.
Yeah.
So I was like,
exactly.
I've lost myself in just like booking all of these artists and getting super entrenched within this, and now my no one brand is completely affiliated with the quality of the bookings I get. Sure, I'll get some sort of kudos for like the curation of it. Thanks, but like it doesn't actually have much value within itself. So then it just got sort of almost like perfectly serendipitously happened that I met Zen at a certain time in my life where I was questioning a lot of these things about my identity, and we got along really well. And then one night we were just mixing, and I stuck in a Bollywood tune over some ghetto techno, and we were like, "Oh, Brown Excellence, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sick, so sick, Brown Excellence." And I was like, "Oh, that could be a thing." And he was like, "Yeah, it's like 4 a.m.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool actually. That could be a thing." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." So next morning, I'm like, "Yeah, I've made a whole brand. I've booked a date at Crofters."
Brilliant.
And I was like, "Are you in?" He was like, "Yeah, cool." I'm very much like, if you have a silly idea,
It's happening.
So yeah,
that's fantastic. Was it ever? I guess because with the no one thing, you said that it kind of became. You can get carried away with it is the wrong term, right? But like in terms of you wanting to go back to it just being about you, not you, but playing.
No, you said it right.
Fine. Just wanted to get back to it being
all about me.
I guess the root of the question is: did you, when you first started out, did you want it to be what it became, or were you just trying to? Hey, you said it now. I'm going to clip you. You're good.
No, that's the thing I knew exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what the people wanted.
There we go.
Yeah. Perceive me as arrogant. Go on then. Like, fine.
Whatever.
Fine.
Throw it over your shoulder, mate.
Yeah. Sorry. In answer to your question, again, it was just like running a little thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, okay, I have the skills. To, and the trust of certain venues to like try something. That's again, it's just like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I messaged Crofters. I've obviously done plenty of shows with them at this point. And I was like, I've got this concept. What do you think? And they were like, sounds cool. Actually, yeah. We can give you a date for that. I was like, cool. Because again, I've worked with them for a few years by this point. And they trust my promoting skills. So it's like, yeah, cool. And then when we did the first party, we sold it out. Like a lot of our mates came, like a lot of our mates came and their friends, and very much like reminding me of like those early shows back in first year, But it was something different because I was a lot more, like it was a lot more full bodied because it wasn't just like mixing. Like we had this whole lens of identity that was obviously very closely intertwined with both of us individually and as a foundation of our friendship. Yeah. So it was deeper. I felt it more, and I think that's really what sort of showed me that this was something important, or like important for me, not anyone else or anything else. But it was important for me to be doing this with Zen and whatever. So we did that first party, and then it went well. So then we did another one, and then another one. I mean, honestly, it was just like, let's just see how far we can push it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, like instead of us just DJing, like let's involve other elements. Let's do some like decor stuff. Let's do some involve other DJs and go back to back with them. Let's try different venues. Let's like create different concepts. Let's do some different stuff. Like just have fun. Just have fun with it. Like that's all that kind of thing was. I
think if you're able to go back to that and just have it about enjoying yourself and having fun, and you can still make it a thing that is viable for yourself, both mentally and financially, then you're on to an absolute winner. I mean, that's literally all it is and ever was, and all it will ever be. And Zen and I have spoken, it's like, I only want to keep doing Brown Excellence and keep even like doing it on bigger and bigger scales, as long as it's fun. As long as I still feel it. And like Brown Excellence won't last forever. And like, that's fine. We've chatted about that as well. It's like, because we don't want it to. It's like, same with No One. It's like, sometimes the story's been told, and that's okay. Like intentional endings are beautiful. 100%. And I think so many people fall foul of keeping on with something until it's been ran into the ground, and then it leaves with like a slightly less than ideal memory. But with something like No One, you've left the stage almost while people are still absolutely really rating what you're doing, which is like almost a perfect place to leave it, I think. Yeah, like there's no intentions of ever bringing it back, but maybe I will. But also, I didn't want to run it into like the ground. As far as I'm concerned, like that story was told
it served its purpose as like a vehicle for myself as an individual to kind of like learn what I need to learn. And ending intentionally is a very beautiful thing. I think it's as important, like, you know, yeah, it is important. Death and rebirth, la 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 la, fill in the gaps. Yeah, you get the idea.
You're the one that fills in the gaps. Come on.
But, you know, yeah, it's important. And then brown, I wasn't feeling no one as much. And then I started making intentional efforts to like build towards a crescendoed ending. And like, cool, that's it. And then brown accents may well happen the same way at some point. At some point, you know, not really think about that yet, but you know, at some point it will, and that's okay. That's, if anything, quite beautiful in my opinion.
Rishi, we could talk all day about this. We've just hit an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Damn, we've basically just been chatting about promoter stuff.
I know. There's so much more I wanted to ask you. We're gonna have to get you back on, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
Is there anything that you feel like we should touch on before we?
Yeah, I mean, I did, because I really did want to chat about this because I think it is really important. Meow. Meow. Yeah, see,
my voice cracked there.
Yeah, no, it's important. It's something that I've started doing more recently. I'm not even joking. I'm being fully for real.
Yeah. Tell us about me.
I guess it links to the masculinity and perceptions and all this stuff. But I don't know. Sometime in like May, I think, because I was like a little joke with my friend about like soft pause moments, like where you have these moments that are really like tender, say like soft pause. I can't remember who did it first, but one of us meowed, and it was like meow. And I think there's something quite disarming. Yeah,
I agree.
About someone who, you know, is perceived as, you know, maybe perceived in a certain way, you know, big, tall, brown man, and then you just hear him go meow. And I think there's something quite disarming about that. Also, even like in a professional context.
You've been using it in a professional context.
Well, I'll say that not necessarily intentionally.
Okay.
But it has sort of spilled out at points. I was at a festival in London, like just a day festival, and someone comes up to me and they're like, "Oh, hey, it's enter name here from enter agency name here," and I was like, "Oh, meow, fucking lovely to see you." It was so funny watching his face, sort of like just process what has happened. It was like buffering, like not in like a negative or a positive way, just like
a hang on.
And I was like, "Anyway, man, how are you?" So But there was, I don't know. I think when it comes to expectations of what a promoter should be, or expectations of what a booker should be, or expectations of what a DJ should be, or expectations of anything for that matter. The point is like, who said that? Who said that those are the expectations? Who set those expectations? Like, who set those prejudices? Who sets those preconceptions? You know, who? Probably like the people in power.
Or it's just been entrenched for so long.
And entrenched for so long. So like, how about, instead of doing things the way that you're expected to and the way that people expect you to do them, you just do it your own way and like forge your own path and just figure it out. Meow, meow.
There we go.
That's it. There you go.
I think that's it. I think we just ended it.
Yeah, cool. Done.
Easy, done. Thank you. Peace.
Damn, that was an hour.
Mate, it just flies by.
Just yapping.